This watch right here is unlike any watches I've found in this price point with its quality, detail, and packaging here. Let's talk about Ciga Design's The Edge. Welcome back to God Tier Watches. My name is Koda, and thanks for tuning into today's comprehensive review. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Here we do top 10s, talk about watch reviews, and watch discussions. So if that's something you're interested in, then hit the big red subscribe button, and let's get going with this review. Now today we're going to talk about Ciga Design's The Edge. It features in a tonneau-shaped case, which is like this French term for basically a barrel-shaped case, where essentially it's wider in the middle and it tapers down where it meets the lugs. But without further ado, this watch looks insanely good for the price point. So
just to clarify before we get ahead with the video, Ciga Design has kindly sent this watch over for free to review, so yeah. Alright guys, now typically in my reviews, you'll see a rectangular square cardboard box with a brand name slapped with it, or like a plastic black case that does the job to protect the watch. But Ciga's out here doing something and putting effort where others don't, which I do appreciate, even at this affordable price point. This in itself is almost good enough to display on a coffee table because I just love the texture here and I love these lines that emphasize its shape. I think it's very Apple-esque in the way that it's minimal in packaging, and you just open it just like that. This shows the Ciga Design skeleton mechanical watch. It says Z series. I think that's what they were previously called, but now they call it the Edge. And they've won the German Design Award winner 2020 here on the bottom right corner, and shows the watch itself. Inside the watch box, or watch book, it just shows you the quick awards that they've won in the previous years. And you see here already, just the watch of it all. You see the whole thing. It's a skeleton dial, so we're gonna see that through the entirety of the watch. And it shows the description of each part of the watch, and then you got the watch itself with the strap. So yeah, very simple, a minimal watch here. Besides that, it's just got the operation on how to wind it and set the time. But that's all you need to really know. And it's got a warranty card that's unsigned here. And yeah, that's all it is. Let's take the watch out of this case and take the straps with it. Alrighty, I just put the strap on. Let's talk about the dimensions of this guy. We got here case diameter. Since this is a tonneau shape, this is a bit different. It's 48 millimeters in its height and then 40.8 millimeters in its width here. And although this does look big, it's actually very light. It only comes in at 72 grams. It's got a lug to lug of 48. 22 millimeters in lug width, which is a bit wider than your typical watches. And it's got a thickness of 12.3 with that one. So overall, this watch is definitely going to fit larger on those small to medium sized wrists. So we're going to have to really see if this will fit. Let's move on to case finishing, shall we? Just looking at this watch case from the back and you flip it to the front, it is just amazing. For a skeleton watch, this is a very sophisticated design. I love this design choice and language that they followed through with Ciga Design. What's interesting is this watch case actually features most brush finishing, and in the edges you see a nice polishing throughout. Just on the edges that you see here in the curves, which is a nice touch. It's not sharp at all, it's very nice and soft, which I like about it. You got these drill holes here that have been precisely cut to insert it so it looks nicely aligned to the watch, giving it more of a metallic futuristic look to it with these screws. And over here, it's got a nice little crown guard here, not your typical crown guard, which I like. And you see this nice pop of color. The red is amazing here. It shows really nicely on the wrist, which I'll show later in the video. And yeah, you could see my hand at the back of this watch, which is unreal to me. This is my first ever skeleton watch review because I find that skeleton watches look quite cheap, but this one looks very nice and it really does look a lot more expensive than it actually is here. On the left side of this case here has its Ciga Design branding because where else are you going to put it on the watch front of the case, right? There is a small logo on the right side of the watch there if you can't see there, but that's all there is to it. And yeah, The watch crystal here is nicely pressed on, following the curve of the Tobo shape, which I think is really nice. It doesn't come out at all, which makes it really nice and smooth. No sharpness to this watch, which, considering how sharp it looks, I think it's a good thing. It won't hurt. You won't get your skin pulled because of how sharp it is. So yeah, very good stuff from Ciga Design. Now, as far as the crystal goes, I'll have to double check from the company, but it says it does come with sapphire crystal when I search on the web on both the front and back, making a sapphire sandwich, which would be very nice for just the durability of it all. Helps reduce the scratches if it's sapphire, so very nice here. And you got here more screws. I'm guessing that's to actually take it out of the case. So yeah, clear case back, obviously being skeleton dial on the front and back. So yeah, amazing, amazing. So overall with this watch finishing, I think it is very well finished. Great brushing, nothing feels sharp to the touch, which is nice, which is what you'd expect really with this kind of price range. But one thing I will mention, I'm not sure if it's visible on the camera, but pretty much on the rotor wheel, there's a bit of a smudge there that I've noticed here. I'm not sure if that was a manufacturing issue or if someone got a bit hungry with the Macca's fries, but there is a bit of a smudge that I've noticed there. But besides that, finishing, exquisite. There's nothing wrong with it. As far as what's in the movement and what's displayed here, it's actually a custom Ciga movement that they've used here. It runs on a 21,600 beats per hour and a 40-hour power reserve automatic movement, obviously with that one. Accuracy of -15 to 30 seconds a day, which is not bad at all. It's quite comparable to the specs of the NH35 automatic movement from Seiko. Only trade-off really being that it has one less hour of power reserve, and yeah, they're both reliable at the end of the day. So, of course, with the movement, it's showing its glory, so very well done here. I think they've done a great job just showcasing this movement, just using a skeleton dial. So yeah, very, very nice. It's insane how they've done this at such an affordable price. Now, as far as the bracelet and strap goes with this watch, it only comes with just this silicone strap that it comes with, but it's nice and comfortable. It's very malleable, flexible, just because it's silicone, which I like. So good for the summer times. You got this Ciga Designs logo on the top of the watch. It's nice here. It's got a waffle print at the front, and then it's got this nice like textured print, very soft to touch, and the holes to place it in, it's kind of like a diamond square shape, which I like. But there's nothing else much to say. It's just comfortable and sweat resistant. So yeah, there's no stainless steel option bracelet for this one. I would like to see that on this watch, but I think honestly, the strap is fine with how it is. You do get a couple of different strap color options depending on what model you get. Obviously, the main feature of this watch is the fact that it's a skeleton dial. So you know, I'm wiggling my finger, you can still see it underneath because it's literally clear. Sapphire sandwich on that one with the dial and handset combo. Dial wise, obviously it's skeleton dial, so I think they've done a really great job just making this look metallic and look futuristic, I guess. It's very funky. It's not for everyone. I can see that. But for those who like it, will definitely love this. They'll dig this design. I like how with the handset, instead of just continuing with the metallic look, they chose to have it red tips on the seconds, hour, and minutes hand. I think they've done a good job. Just make sure that it's visible that way and legible, a bit more legible, because skeleton tiles are just known for being very difficult to read the time, which makes it pointless, I think, in my opinion, with the watch, because you end up whipping out your phone instead. But this one, you can actually still read it. I think it's fair. With the indices, you got these little indicators on the side here to give you that exact time. And you got some black lines to show you what time it is. So it makes it a bit more accurate that way. But yeah, it's definitely not for everyone here with the dial. But I think they've done a great job just trying to showcase this the best they can with the seagull movement that they've customized here. And to give it a bit more separation with the layers and give it a bit more depth, the actual base of the skeleton dial just separating from the hands, it looks like it's just sandblasted. It gives it more of a grey flat matte look. And then the hands, obviously you can see with the light play, it is polished with that one. So it gives it a bit of separation I like that they have distinctly made here. But yeah, all these holes throughout the different parts of the case just are the jewels that they've placed for this watch. So they've configured it in a way that somehow fits in this Tobo shape design. So very impressive from Ciga, I must say. And if you're wondering if there's lume on this watch, I'm sorry to disappoint you guys with that one, but there is not a single ounce of lume with this watch. So yeah, I mean, I think it looks very, very cool anyway. I don't think you really necessarily need lume with this kind of watch. It being a skeleton dial, it's going to be difficult to find a place to put lume on anyway. But I think it's great that they just kept this metallic look and a bit of red to just give it a pop of color. But yeah, no lume with this one. Not too disappointed really, just because it is a skeleton sporty watch style. So with this case back as well, I thought I'd quickly mention it's got 30 meters of water resistance, which isn't much, but honestly, you're not going to take this out to the waters. Let's be real. You're just going to wear it out to flex on people, to give it that look with that Richard Mille look. This definitely does give the look of a Richard Mille inspired design, but keep in mind, this is all original design still with this Ciga design, the edge, which I think is still good. They're not copying designs, so that's a good thing that I like about them. They're not just using keyboard shortcuts to make watches, so they actually put together a design team to configure the movement, put together the watch together. So I think that's something to credit for. But now we saved the best bit for last, and this is none other than the wrist shots. So, what did you guys think of today's watch review from Ciga Design, the Edge? I'll leave a coupon code for you to get it cheaper through Ciga Design's website. I highly recommend you to check it out because they've got some cool stuff going on. I love how they're covering a different niche of watches and creating something different, which I really like. And I guess you could call it a micro brand. And it's starting to become a very well-known watch brand, and people are actually acknowledging it as a proper watch brand. So I love their stuff. I like where they're heading with this. Very nice, futuristic. Just the fact that it's a bit too big for me, personally. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a bit too big for me? I've got 6¼ inch wrists. Wrists? I only put on one wrist, but I'll leave that coupon code. Like I said, check it out. Thank you for Ciga Design for sending these watches over in the first place. But for the build quality, the dial, the packaging, the finishing, and just the overall experience of a first skeleton watch for me, I've enjoyed it quite pleasantly. So yeah, very good stuff from Ciga Design. I didn't expect nothing less of it. I was very pleasant from the get-go when I first saw it. I think it looks very aesthetic at an affordable price too. So I hope you have a good day or night wherever you guys are in the world. Thank you for watching God Tier Watches. My name is Koda, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned for more videos. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.